What if your spiritual awakening wasn't an awakening at all, but a soul exchange that changed everything? Find out more on this episode of the Radiate Wellness podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Radiate Wellness podcast with your host, metaphysician, Reiki master, and hypnotherapist, Christi Hoffman. Each week, we will discover teachings, tips, and tools to radiate your best life ever with practitioners, authors, and luminaries to help you on your path. Wellness, joy, peace, abundance. What do you want to radiate?
Hello and welcome back to the Radiate Wellness podcast, where today we radiate unconditional love with Marilyn Harper, who is an internationally recognized spiritual teacher, healer, and channel who has been bringing through the loving messages of Adironnda and the Council of Light for more than 25 years. Following a profound spiritual transformation and walk-in experience in the 1990s, Marilyn embraced her role as what Adironnda calls the divine link, sharing guidance centered on unconditional love, personal awakening, and humanity's evolving consciousness. Through retreats, workshops, healing sessions, and channeling events around the world, she has helped thousands of people deepen their spiritual connection and discover their own intuitive gifts. And me, I am Christi Hoffman, your host for this little adventure. I am a Reiki master, spiritual medium, and level 3 quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner based in the Kansas City area. If you are new to the Radiate Wellness podcast, well, thank you for listening and welcome. And if you are a loyal listener, my heart just goes out to you. I love our regular listeners. Thank you so much for believing in this show and our message of love, hope, peace, abundance, joy, and much, much more. So, before we get on with our show, I have a few asks of you, please, while you are listening. First of all, please share this show. I mean, not only this episode, but this show with your colleagues, your friends, your coworkers, all of your connections. Please share the Radiate Wellness podcast because every week you would get something different. It's never 2 weeks the same thing. We might have functional nutrition. We might have authors about channeling. Well, we might have a channeler. We might have a parent who's gone through an incredible grief journey and written to tell about it. We might have all kinds of different practitioners, spiritual leaders, gurus, Dr. Raymond Moody, Dr. Eben Alexander, Whitley Strieber, to name a few, plus much, much more. You never know what you're going to get on the Radiate Wellness podcast, but it's always going to be interesting and good. So share the show. The next thing I would ask you to please do is to give us a thumbs up, a 5-star, whatever type of rating system that you have on the platform you're listening right now. Give us that positive review. A few words of praise wouldn't hurt either. A few words just saying how much you appreciate the content that we share here would be wonderful. Also, if you would hit that notification bell, that follow button, the subscribe button, whatever it is, wherever you're listening, that will let you get notifications of future episodes that are out. But also, what all of that does is it boosts us in the algorithms because the algorithms love action. They love to see what people like. And if you can show us that you like this show, that you subscribe and follow to this show, and that you share this show, well, then that certainly helps us gain new listeners. So I consider that a win-win. And then lastly, there is a link in the show notes for you to make a donation or a contribution to this podcast. You know, it's going to be free for you forever to listen to as long as I'm around to do it. It will be free for you to listen to, but there are costs associated with it. And frankly, they come out of my pocket. So if you could please make a small little donation or charitable contribution to this podcast, that would greatly help us immensely. All right. Well, that's about it. I really hope you enjoy this episode. It is something a little bit different, a little bit special, and you're going to learn about a fantastic opportunity for a spiritual retreat that sounds just Lovely. You won't want to miss that. All right. Enjoy this episode, friends. Hello, Marilyn. It's so great to see you again. It seems we've been Zooming quite a bit lately, and it's so nice to see you pop up on my screen again. How are you today?
I am great. And it is great to see you too, Christi. You have one of those energetic personalities that I just love. It's so fun to be around you.
Well, you too. Back at you, Marilyn. And I'm loving all these beautiful colors that you're just swimming in, these beautiful colors all around you. That's super fun. Now, remind me what part of the country you are in.
I am actually in Branson, Missouri.
Oh my goodness, down in the Ozarks, the heartland.
Yes. And it is interesting. I was guided to move to Branson in the 2000s. And I was like, what? In Branson? That's like the buckle of the Bible Belt. And so I did. And I lived here for about 7 or 8 years, something like that. And then I moved back up to Springfield. And then I moved back down here in 2019.
Wait, where did you start off before Springfield?
I grew up in Kansas.
Did you now?
I did.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I am a Kansas girl. I know it's kind of an oxymoron for a Kansas girl to be channeling because it's not the norm.
Well, I was wondering about that. Absolutely. Especially when you get out to rural Kansas, there's really not much opportunity to even meet other people who are in that realm or even know what channeling is. Now, out there, did you grow up in a certain religion or anything?
Yes. I actually grew up in southeast Kansas, Parsons, Kansas.
Oh, I know Parsons.
Yeah. Oh, do you? It's a nice little town. I don't know, somewhere between 7 and 10,000 people. That's probably counting all the cats and dogs. And I grew up, was raised in the Christian church. Disciples of Christ is the overall denomination, but they call it a Christian church, which was very confusing to me as a child. It's like, so the Methodists are not Christians? Is that it? Or the Presbyterians are not Christians? I don't understand. And so it took a while for me to realize that it was a chapter of the Disciples of Christ that they called themselves Christian. We were in church every Sunday. We were in church on Sunday nights for our Cairo or our youth group. We were in church on Wednesday nights for choir practice or a fellowship group. And in my household growing up, that was never an option to not go to church. It wasn't until I was probably in junior high and high school when we start questioning everything that I questioned what they were teaching. And when my 8th grade Sunday school teacher said that I was a witch because I seemed to know things, I thought, okay, so note to self, don't ever say things like that again. You know how people do.
Absolutely.
And then I thought, well, maybe God is bigger than this. Because when I was in high school, we were trying to convince the church that we should be able to wear jeans to church. And that was totally unacceptable. And I was like, God doesn't care what we wear. So I think as any young person does, that's when we started questioning it. But I didn't really, I didn't think anything about, I wasn't metaphysical. I was religious. Even in the 90s, before I started channeling, I was deacon in the Christian church. I kept that whole thing, and it was a big part of my life. I was co-sponsor of the children's choir and the youth group and all of that. And then I had a spiritual awakening.
Wow.
And some would call it a walk-in. Are you familiar with the term walk-in?
Oh, very much, but I'm sure many of our audience are not. So yeah, please break that down for us.
Well, a walk-in is different now than it was in the 90s. And Ruth Montgomery coined the phrase in the 80s, actually, with her book Strangers Among Us by Ruth Montgomery. And I experienced that. Now, a walk-in is a person who has had a soul exchange or a soul transformation. I believe in my case, it was a complete exchange. It was my soul, several generations more advanced, actually came back here. And instead of the body dying, the new soul came in to take their place.
Wow. Well, kind of like Bashar in a way.
Yes, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, although he doesn't believe in walk-ins. He doesn't believe that they exist.
No,
But
that's, yeah. But he channels, of course, his future self.
right,
Right.
right. But I wasn't channeling then. I was still very active in the Christian church when that happened. I went into the hospital with complications following a surgery and came out really a different person. I couldn't do the same things. I didn't have the same skills.
Mhm.
It wasn't the same at all. And then, unfortunately, I spent a couple of years that way questioning what the heck has happened. Did I have a stroke? I mean, I thought I was losing my mind.
Of
And
course.
then the universe brought me to the book Strangers Among Us in a very interesting way. So I had to pay attention to that. And I thought, well, that had to be what happened to me. And my walkout was a profound writer, and I suddenly could not write in English. Even if you read my writing today, it's like a third grader wrote it. The syntax is like English is my second language.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
And I used to be an English teacher, you know?
Wow. So when this happened, was anybody else just questioning what the heck happened to Marilyn?
Yes. My son knew that something had changed, but I didn't know. How do you explain that to people? I really couldn't. And so I just went on. And I remember when I was directly in front of my brother, I hadn't seen him for several months, but I was not 2 feet away from him and he didn't recognize me. It wasn't because I looked so different. It was because I felt so different. And I can look at pictures and people can tell when I look at pictures before and pictures after, I can see the difference. But
Isn't that interesting? Please take this with a grain of salt, but this makes me think of when Jesus came back after his internment in the tomb. He came back and everyone recognized him, but he just looked different.
right, right. And a lot of walk-ins will say that Jesus was a walk-in. And it's like, I think that's your ego speaking.
I
You just
understand that,
want Jesus to be a walk-in because you're a walk-in.
right? Or you
And-
want to be like Jesus.
Right, right. I mean, don't we all?
Well, I think we all have the capability, but it just struck me all of a sudden. Well, we don't know exactly what did happen with Jesus, but this is a very, very plausible explanation for what happened to him, why he was so transformed. So I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. And once I woke up to the fact that this had happened, that's when I set myself on a spiritual path.
Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm.
And I thought, if I have to complete all the contracts of the walk out so I can live as the walk in, then I set myself on that path. And it was quite an undertaking. I had no idea. I mean, I was still deacon in the Christian church.
Oh my goodness.
I know I was kind of living two lives, one as deacon and one exploring what else is out there. And to me, God or source just got bigger. I mean, I would say that I use the term source because God is a gendered term.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got God and goddess, and they both are combined. And that with source, there is no separation.
Right? It's all combined. Absolutely. Now, did you have any metaphysical inklings before that, such as when you started putting things together? Did it kind of make sense in a way because you'd already had some exposure?
Well, when I was a kid, I mean, the reason my teacher called me a witch was because I really was fascinated by hypnotherapy. And I thought was able to hypnotize people. And I said that somehow I kind of knew things. I would dream things that would happen. And I don't dream things that happen now at all. So I knew about that. I had one person when I was in college tell me that I was a medium and could contact people that had crossed over. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so. But since when I woke up in 1996 and set myself on this spiritual path, I really then started realizing how much there is out there and that God is not judgmental. Source does not judge us. And it's a much bigger world. And I did guided writing. Stopped having the capability to read books, which is an interesting phenomenon.
An interesting one, yes.
I took a Reiki class. You know what Reiki is? I'm sure your
Oh,
audience does.
yes. Yeah, I'm a Reiki master, but yes, our audience is familiar. We've had a few Reiki teachers and authors.
Right, right. And I took a Reiki class and thought, "Whew, I'll be a healer when I grow up." And so I went and got all these books at the metaphysical bookstore. And I was like, whoa. And the next day, I couldn't read them. I picked up the newspaper and it looked like Arabic to me. I couldn't read it at all. And I went to book after book and I couldn't see the words. They looked like Arabic, the Arabic written language. And I was like that for an entire week a stop sign would look like it was written in Arabic. And it was pretty horrifying. I mean, because I was selling advertising for a radio station in Springfield, Missouri at the time.
Goodness.
And I had to write copy. And
You
so,
thought you were having a stroke or something.
yes, I did. And after about a week or two, I could read things that I needed to read, like copy and write copy and things like that. But I still couldn't read. I still can't read spiritual books or metaphysical books or anything like that. I mean, people will ask me, well, did you read the book such and such and such and such? It's like, no, I slept with it. I started sleeping with books and that seemed to work. I was able to get the gist of the book by sleeping with it.
Yes. Yeah, it's just osmosis. And thank goodness now audiobooks are very, very popular.
Yes. I still have trouble with audiobook. I think I'm borderline ADHD or something. I have trouble concentrating on them.
Well, and no matter, because that's not holding you back from any of your work at all. You are full steam ahead.
Yes.
So now you've really embraced this walk-in capability, this walk-in experience, and embraced your mediumship and your channeling. How did you discover that you were a channel?
I don't know that I discovered it. I think I was tapped on the shoulder. It was when I started doing guided writing, which is what a lot of people call automatic writing.
Right.
It was great. It was like a two-way conversation with my guides. And they said that I would be bringing in messages from other dimensional realms and that I would be on stage in front of thousands. And I'm like, I don't think so. I didn't believe in channeling at the time. I mean, I threw Shirley MacLaine's book out on a limb away because I thought it was sacrilegious. I mean, I didn't believe. I thought, oh, they're just making that up, That's not a thing. But the book kept showing back up in my car, which needless to say, it was like, how did it get here? I was throwing it away. I threw it away. It was in the trash. How is it in this backseat of my car? But somewhere along the line, after I woke up, after I took the Reiki class, and I'm a Reiki master too and a Karuna master, I volunteered. I didn't know that that's what I was volunteering for at the time. I raised my hand and I said, I will go anywhere. I will do anything. I will say anything as long as you can prove to me that your source energy moving through me. And I didn't know at the time that I was volunteering to be a channel. After I was attuned to Reiki level 2, and I was doing a practice session on somebody. So after I was attuned to Reiki 2, and I was doing a Reiki session, I realized I had the capability to see or sense inside of people's bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that's pretty weird. And during one of the sessions, now this was probably the end of 98, I was doing a session with someone and I heard a voice in my head, and I was kind of used to that from the guided writing. And the voice said, I'd like to speak directly to the person on the table, and I want to use you as a channel. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I'd seen The Exorcist. I knew what could happen. I said, no. And I'm like, who in the heck are you? And get out of my head. Because I could tell that it wasn't one of my guides because I was familiar with them through the guided writing. And they introduced themselves and said that they were Serapis Bey, which I now know as one of the Ascended Masters. I didn't at the time.
Right.
And that I finally, after much psychic interplay, was convinced to step aside and let them communicate directly with the person on the table and on my Reiki table. And they brought in so much information that I could never have gotten to. I mean, it was so powerful. But after that, I don't think I really came completely back into my body, because I would be driving around to sell advertising, and I would all of a sudden find myself out in the country and have no idea how I got there. And after 5 speeding tickets and 3 car wrecks, and the last car wreck, the universe, I was never physically hurt. I mean, the last one, the universe arranged for a paramedic to be jogging at the corner where I had my car wreck.
Make this up.
I know.
You can't make this up.
Not at all. I mean, there was another ER nurse that was in the line of cars that were stopped.
Of course.
So, I mean, if you're going to have an accident, you might as well have your emergency personnel right there on the spot. So, anyway, the universe, through several things, arranged for me to, after the car wreck, go to a psychic fair. And I thought, oh, what if somebody sees me here? But then I decided, well, they probably wouldn't be at the psychic fair if they weren't open to any of this.
Now, I have to ask, were you still in Parsons at this point?
No, I was living in Springfield, Missouri.
Okay. That not much different, honestly. Still kind
No.
of the buckle in the Bible Belt.
They are a lot the same. Absolutely. One's just bigger than the other.
Right.
You know, the question that people ask you when they first meet you, oh, what church do you go to?
Yep.
Yeah,
Springfield.
exactly. So the universe arranged for me to meet this person. And when I started, after I did the Reiki session, this was 98. After I did that, I mean, I had several odd incidences. I would all of a sudden start seeing 1111 and 444 and
Oh my God. Yes.
555 and 222. And I'm like, what the heck is all this? And, you know, numbers are the universal language. And so they were trying to get my attention. And they still were telling me in my guided writing that I would be a link. They called it a divine link. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything really divine about me. And then they turned on my stereo at 444 each morning.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, I'm an NPR girl. I listen to NPR now. What is it? Public American Media Station or whatever it is now. And it would be on a rock station every morning at 444, even when it was unplugged. It would still come on at 4:44 a.m. and it would be plugged in, you know. And so finally I asked, what is this? What is this all about? Tell me now. And within a few days I had a wreck, and the universe then arranged for me to meet someone to ride with me in the car, and could tell that I was not present in my body. And we actually wrote a sitcom about it, Two Girls in a Galaxy. It's on YouTube. And when I went to the person that was in the car with me, said, pull into that parking lot. And she knew what to do. She could tell that I wasn't present, and she knew how to handle it.
Wow.
And I know.
How did she handle it?
She stepped my conscious self aside. First of all, she cleared and sealed the space in my car in the Ace Hardware parking lot. And she cleared and sealed the space so that only energies from the light could enter. And she stepped my conscious self aside and asked my conscious self to step into the back seat of the car, and asked to speak to my higher self or whoever was present in my body.
Wow.
And I know. That was the first time Adironnda spoke. And Adironnda came through immediately and said, thank you very much. We've been trying to get this woman's attention for a long time. And then the person that was with me, Alexis is her name, she asked what Adironda's name was, and they told her, and I could feel a translation. And the speaking was very slow, but I could feel a translation going on inside of my mind where they were translating from their language into our language.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked where I was from, where Adironnda was from. And Adironnda came through immediately and said, we're from the 17th dimension. We are a part of the angelic realm. And we are here because this woman, the vessel Marilyn, is a activator. Mm-hmm. And we're going to magnify that activation energy. And we're going to activate people in groups. And I had my first group a few days later. I mean, it was wild.
What did it feel like to have Adironnda coming through you?
It was like something the size of Texas trying to move through my throat. It was very big energy. And, I thought, what? Is this real? And I was fearful. So my friend Alexis, she was from New Hampshire and she was traveling through Springfield, and somehow I encountered her, and she did a session with me to help me remove my fear of channeling. And during the session, she said, the very first thing that comes to mind, where's your fear? And I'm like, in my backpack. Well, first of all, Christi, I don't even carry a backpack.
Doesn't sound like you, Marilyn, I have to say.
No, I don't carry a backpack, except when I fly and I just put my computer in it and that's it. And then she said, okay, so your fear is in your backpack. Say the first thing that comes to mind. What does it look like? And I said, frogs. And I'm like, what? Frogs? Okay. So she said, let's set those frogs free. So we did a visualization to set the frogs free. And Christi, I kid you not 30, 45 minutes after we finished the session, we were going to go out to lunch. And I stepped out my front door and there were hundreds of little tiny frogs all over my porch, my sidewalk, my driveway. They were never there before. They've never been there since. It was amazing. But, I'm from Missouri. I'm from the show me state, right? You have to prove it to me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that proved to me that something was happening. And so I had to trust it. And Adironda's energy was much different than my energy. They had a really thick accent, and I kind of was sitting in the background when we practiced and did this in my house. She actually sent me to the bathroom. Send your conscious self to the bathroom. And I still go into the bathroom. It's a beautiful place. And Adironnda refers to me as back there, and I can communicate now with Adironnda. But in the beginning, I didn't remember anything.
Wow.
Nothing. It was like nothing. And I recorded everything. And in actuality, as I was moving this time, I had boxes and boxes of cassette tapes because I used to keep all my private sessions and things like that. You're probably too young to remember cassette tapes.
Oh, I'm intimately familiar with cassette tapes.
Well, I used to record my sessions on cassettes, and I found the recording of the very first group I ever did.
Oh my gosh.
It was amazing because Adironnda was very slow and you could feel the translation going on.
Right.
And then I did several groups within a month. And so it was kind of like jump into the water full force. And I never questioned it because Adironnda, the energy of Adironnda is that energy of unconditional love, infinite love. And when Alexis asked Adironnda why they were here, they said that they were sent by Source and that they are to hold every person that they encounter in pure, infinite, unconditional love. And how would the world be different if everyone knew what that felt like?
That is one of my favorite things to do in quantum healing hypnosis technique sessions, is to have the client feel what divine love really feels like and have their higher self flow that into them. It's transformative.
It is. And I have several QHHT, quantum healing
hypnosis technique.
Yeah, that are a part of my classes. It's a powerful technique.
Oh, so practitioners who are part of your classes?
Yes.
Yes. And you are going to be channeling at an upcoming retreat.
Yes.
Exciting. Tell us about the retreat.
It's like people think they have to go to the big exotic places all over the planet, and sometimes it's in your own backyard. I have gone to Mount Ida, which is in the heart of Arkansas, probably since I was awakened. Wow. And dug crystals. And crystals, the crystalline energy, I actually have some on my back table here. I have one here that is just a beautiful little crystal
cluster.
Yeah, a little nice little cluster. Yeah. And it's so fun to realize that when you dig a crystal out of the earth, it's like you're the first hands to touch them
Yeah.
in 65 million years.
It's like you
Yours and
express on that.
source.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I say dig, we kind of sit on the mounds and in the mines and kind of move the dirt around and ask any crystals want to come home with me. And they kind of just come to the surface.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Now you're going to be digging crystals, finding crystals in this retreat too.
Yes, we are in Mount Ida. The retreat is September 13th through the 18th, and it's just spectacular. We go to 2 different mines, and we have amazing experiences. And yes, I channel twice a day. And then we go swimming in Lake Ouachita. And Lake Ouachita is a government-built lake that was built in the 20s to cover the crystals.
Oh my goodness.
Because the crystals were used in communication. The crystals were used in radios. The crystals were used in television. And watches, yes. So the government wanted to own the biggest crystal mine in the world at that time. And the lake it's hard to describe because the water is so healing. It's like, I don't know if you've ever swam in open lake or open water, kind of dirty. Lake Ouachita is not. You can see your feet under the water, and the water feels like you're swimming in really expensive bottled water. It's smooth and silky, and it's just an amazing experience, and people are healed by the water in the lake. They go into the lake with an intention of healing or healing their fear, healing something, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
It absolutely works. It's kind of that energy of connection. It's that energy of divine connection. And aside from digging crystals, which is a big enough deal itself, we go swimming in the lake. We have a sound bath. We chant twice a day. We do healing work on each other. It's really a wonderful, intimate retreat. And we stay at a beautiful resort. And I mean,
Mountain
Harbor.
Thank you. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mountain Harbor Resort. It's got cabins that sleep 6 people, all with different beds, different rooms, or different. You share a bedroom, and each one has a lake view and a hot tub and its own kitchen, although we provide the food in the main cabin. And it's just amazing. I've done the retreat, I think, since 2012, every other year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a spectacular retreat.
Oh, sounds wonderful. And you channel twice a day. That's amazing. It's remarkable. Do you think Adironnda would come and talk to us now?
Of course. Of course. I don't know how long we have or how,
We've got about 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, they're very time conscious. I've trained them to be. So I would love to. So let me get out of the way. We'll just take a few deep breaths. And if you have a question for Adironnda, you can open that up. So we'll see where we go. So it is good day to you, huh? Oh, so very good to see your light, your brightness, your divine presence, dearest divine Christi. Oh, you are a brilliant light, yes? You know that you are bringing forth new information, new energy. You also carry, of course, with your name, the Christ energy or the energy of the Master Yeshua. And with that focus, people are gravitating towards you. It's like they just want to be next to you because they feel so much better when they are. And with your podcast, you're expanding that energy and expanding that nature to such an effect that you're reaching the far areas of the planet that are discovering who you are. And you are bringing that message of light, radiating it, that message of light and wellness and ignition of the planet of love, ignition of the planet of peace, and all of that energy is so powerful. So first of all, we congratulate you.
Thank you, Adironnda. It's a pleasure to have you here on this show and in my dining room, I should say, too.
We love to be in your dining room.
So I have seen you before at different metaphysical fairs, and it's always a joy and a pleasure to be with you. So thank you so much for that. And I had some questions. Is it all right to ask some questions?
We love questions, absolutely, because those bring in new information. Otherwise, we would just talk to you. So what are your questions?
Wonderful as well to just have you talk to us. I appreciate that. I wanted to know, you came through Maryland at a specific time. Why was that timing important? Why now?
Ah, good question, dearest. So we first showed up for her. Well, we sort of showed up in 1993 when she had her spiritual transformation, but we didn't really make ourselves known until 1999, because, the 80s, 97, the harmonic convergence.
Oh, yes, the harmonic convergence. Very familiar with that.
10 years after that, that is a sort of a milestone. And the planet, as you know, is shifting its dimensional frequency. It's shifting the energy and the focus of this planet. And people will begin searching and asking questions. And the best answer we know of is to be held in love during this process. So we came to this town, to this area, to this planet, to bring that unconditional infinite love so that people of the planet can feel that, because we've never communicated through a human form before our divine vessel Marilyn. And with that energy, when we came into this dimension, we realized that the people, so many times you don't love yourself. Mm-hmm. And we thought, how could you not love yourself? You are such a gift to all that you encounter. And so our job, as it would be, is to hold each person in that infinite love. And when we travel with the vessel Marilyn, we are with her always, on retreat or out of retreat and everywhere. And in that energy, it is fascinating to see the reaction of people when they first feel that essence of unconditional love. Huh?
It is indeed transformative. Absolutely. So why is it that humans need that at this time?
Well, as you know, the planet is changing, and there's a tremendous amount of fear that is going on. Are you going to be able to eat? Are you going to be able to have your money? Are you going to have to invest in cryptocurrency? Are you going to be on the planet? Are we going to be exploded with nuclear weapon? And are somebody, blah, 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 blah. You can go on and on and on. Yet, if you are still holding with the intention that divine order is still in process, that you will always be taken care of, that you will always be worthy. And so in the planet itself, in the upbringing of most humans on the planet, they were taught as a child that they were not worthy. They were taught as a child that they should be humble and they should be seen and not heard and blah, blah, all of those things. And they were taught and trained into the feeling that they were unworthy of experiencing their own joy. And dearest, joy is your birthright. And so with that energy and with that focus, that is why we are here at this point in time, to assist with the shift of this planet. In our vessel Marilyn, we have gone through all over the planet. Israel, we've gone there and worked with the Israeli. We went to everywhere over the planet. And so that is why we are here, and why we are here at this point in time.
Thank you. Do you work through anyone else currently?
As a messenger?
Yes.
Through another human?
Yes. Do you have other humans that you work through?
Not really. The vessel Marilyn was our first human, and we learned all kinds of things with her. And yet she is now teaching people how to channel and how to utilize their healing ability, that they are innate ability. Now, we do not call it channeling. We call it bringing messages, a divine link. And in that, many times we are multidimensional. We can communicate with many people, and in her classes, that's called the Channelers Academy, several of them have then said that we came through them as well. And of course we did, because we are not exclusive. Everyone gets the opportunity to awaken.
Right. So why is it, Marilyn, that you chose to come through first as your first messenger?
You ask some very good questions, huh? So the reason we chose her is, first of all, we are from the 17th dimension. Now, it is not even in this galaxy, if you want to pinpoint it. But in that dimension, when you humans, some of you humans, when you sleep, you go interdimensional at that time. She would go into the 17th dimension, and we saw cobalt blue light coming through her hands, so it took our attention. And when the source said, we're sending you as a messenger to this planet, we thought, okay. And then she was able to hold that essence of love that many people on your planet are not able to do. And she can hold it. And aside from her initial response that we worked on her for over a year to try to get her to understand what we were doing in the 1990s, she did not question it. She trusted it. She trusted the message. She trusted us. We are a spokesbeing for a collective of energy.
I wondered, yes. Tell me more about your collective.
We are a collective that, first of all, we have no physical form as Adironnda. We are the spokesbeing, as you would say. And in the collective are archangels and ascended masters from your planet. The Master Yeshua is in our collective and sometimes speaks independently, and it's very profound when he does. Mother Mary, Isis, Ponyan, Michael, Raphael Gabriel, Metatron, Babaji, many of the ascended masters from your planet. And because they are here to help, and we simply make that divine connection. And the vessel Marilyn, she didn't question it when it first started happening. I mean, the first time we spoke through her, after she released her fear, she said, I'm in, whatever you choose. And we have been working with her ever since. And she is a magnificent healing practitioner. And we magnify that healing energy through her so we can work with groups, that we can work virtually in this Zoom realm or whatever. And so it is interesting that in a time of this planet, COVID changed everything, made the planet much smaller, because now you can speak to someone in Australia and work with them and they can feel the energy. That is one of the reasons why we are here now, is to be able to accommodate that energy. Does that answer your question, dearest?
Beautifully, beautifully. Is there a specific connotation or meaning to the name Adironnda?
No, it is just our name, Adironnda. It is not related to the Adirondack Mountains in your country.
Wondering.
It is not male nor female just because it goes "da" at the end. It is just the name that we have. It is an 8 vibration, which is infinite abundance, infinite of all energies. And in that energy, it is simply our name. There's no spiritual meaning or metaphysical meaning or anything else. I mean, it's not as meaningful as your name, Christi, huh? Because you've got Christ I, which is very powerful, huh?
I like it.
Yes.
So when you channel to groups, what is your biggest hope for the groups as they listen to your messages?
That every single person feels what it feels like to be held in pure, complete, infinite, unconditional love. And dearest Christi, divine Christi, it is surprising to them, and sometimes to our vessel Marilyn, that even in audiences of 3,000 people in Israel, which is our largest audience, even the people in the very back row that didn't even speak the language we were speaking, they felt that energy, and it shifted their consciousness forever.
Beautiful. I was wondering if there's anything special that you need to do with your energy to channel through a human in the 3D dimension here.
Well, the vessel Marilyn had to learn how to expand her throat to accommodate that. We also merged with the vessel Marilyn. I mean, in the beginning, we were separate. We are not a part of her higher self or not a part of her guidance system or anything like that. We came from another dimension. And so we didn't make ourselves smaller. We simply merged with her. And she expanded her throat to allow us to move through her. And we've learned that the accent of you that has calmed down over the year, and with that energy, it is still about expanding who you humans are and holding that energy of the infinity that you carry. The other galaxies are watching this planet because this has never happened before. And in maybe any galaxy. And it is the powerful thing as the beings in other dimensional realms are just looking at these little humans who appear to be backward, but we know that they are not.
I think we have great potential.
Yes.
What is it that is developing on our planet, and how will we know when it has developed?
Well, we don't know if it will ever be completely developed because it is always transformational. It is always changing, just like humans are. I mean, even when their body passes into another realm of dimension, their soul lives on. And so it is the same with this planet. And this planet and the people of this planet are in a state of primary transformation. They are in a state where their primary beliefs, their primary programs, the bottom root chakra, if you want to talk about it in those terms, are coming to light to cause those to have the realization that they are not finite, that they are infinite, and that anything that is not in integrity is coming to light to be reorganized, to be reconnected and reaffirmed, if it would be, into the new dimensional realm. You see, you have gone through the third dimension and the fourth dimension, which is the dimension of chaos, and now in the fifth dimension, it is about that dimension of instant gratification. You see it in your own life. You think, we'd love to have some rain out there, and then the next day it rains. Or isn't it nice to have good friends and then your friends call? And so that is that instant gratification. And you're learning that even some of the greatest leaders of this planet, human leaders, sometimes their integrity must be questioned. And in that questioning, it is about seeing, feeling what is right, and trusting the divine is not going to cause you to be extinct, and trusting that this energy is indeed transforming. And as humans, you can simply take the next step. Take care of your planet, recycle, take care of your body, recycle that too. Take care of your brain, recycle that too. Take care of who you are. And to realize that compassion and understanding and knowledge are all a part of who you are. Wisdom is your essence, and you have the capability, each of you have the capability to channel or bring in messages from higher dimensional realms. Does that answer your question?
Beautifully, thank you. Thank you. I have one last question, and that is, what is one thing that humans can do to affect the most change that's needed?
To be love, to realize that at your essence, at your core, before all the programming from your parents, from your grandparents, from your teachers, from your life, whatever, blah, 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 that core is still the essence of source. And to realize that that source is in every action that you take, every move that you make, and that as you are evolving, you have new skills, new energies, new areas of focus for your own innate abilities. And to develop those innate abilities to the highest degree possible is a part of your evolutionary path. You came to this planet at this time for a reason. You are unique unto yourself. And with that energy, you come in to bring the essence of you, no matter what that may look like. I mean, the essence of you may be a Walmart greeter, and it change people's lives by greeting them with a smile. They may be the person who's working on your street outside, and they may be handling the energy because it brings them joy. And if everyone on the planet could be doing something that brings the joy to the surface and the love expanded, that is the path where we are heading. And that is why we are here. And that is why we have connected with you, dearest divine Christi, to help expand that message as well. Huh?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you.
Dearest, we love you so much. We see who you are. We feel your essence. And we see the illumination that you bring to the planet. And we love you so deeply. We are honored by your presence. And we bid you namaste. Namaste.
How are you doing, Marilyn?
I'm back, kind of.
That was beautiful. I love how your eyes change color when you come through.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I've been told that before, but I didn't know whether it transferred on camera.
It transfers into Zoom. The shape of your eyes changes too. The shape of your face changes slightly as well. You don't look the same when Adironnda is through you. No, that was lovely.
I remember the first time I ever saw a video of Adironnda, which was like 11 years after I started channeling. I thought, whoa, that's kind of, I couldn't believe it.
It's different. It's different. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, so that really comes through, I think, on the small screen. But just the love that they bring and the message of joy that they bring, I think, is beautiful. And we cannot stress it enough.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Is it all right if I give your listeners a little gift?
I would love that, Marilyn. Are you kidding me?
You know, I will send you the link or a QR code or something, however you work that.
Absolutely.
It would be to Adironnda.com /bliss, BLISS. That'll give them $44 worth of a year's worth of meditations and frequencies of the month and messages and classes. And yeah, I would love to do that.
That would be lovely. Yes, we'll put that in the show notes. So just get that over to me and we will get that set up. That's very kind. So wonderful. Again, your retreat is coming up September 13th through 18th at Mount Ida. Looks like a beautiful location. And I'll put the link in the show notes as well for more information and to register for that upcoming.
And you're going to be on R88. I'm not sure when this will be or when this is going to air, but you're going to be a guest on the 8-8, the Lionsgate.
Well, which is very fitting. I am a Leo.
Oh, of course.
Of course. My birthday is the week before then on August 3rd. So I am super excited to be on your double digits program on 8-8 for Lionsgate. It's always a powerful time.
Yes, it is.
Is there anything we have not talked about that you feel is important, Marilyn?
You know, as Adironnda says, just be the love that you already are.
Love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time and sharing your talents with this audience. It's greatly, greatly appreciated.
My honor and my pleasure. Thank you.
Don't know what to watch next? Decisions. Well, we've got some suggestions. You can click this little video here and watch that. It's something that we think you're going to like. If you like the last one, you're going to like that one too. You can also click on the subscribe button. And if you do that, then you'll get notifications whenever we have a new video up. Win-win, right?